Right, welcome to episode 13, I think.
Ooh, unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky 13. Let's hope it's a
Wow,
good
my
one.
coffee's really full.
Really full. I actually think next episode, we'll be back to cocktails. Oh, that is lovely, though.
Exciting.
Coffee. I feel like we start the episodes in exactly the same way, just like having a sip of the drink.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah,
Mine's so full, so I need
if you're
to
listening
get
and
it
you're
down.
not driving, have a drink as well. Have a coffee with us, but next
Yeah.
week if you're listening,
We'll have an Irish coffee.
have a cocktail. Yeah, an Irish coffee. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. I feel like there's something so bougie about an Irish coffee.
I know. One of our friends always has one, and I'm always like, slay.
Okay, Slay. Yeah, Slay. So, what's new this week?
What's new this week?
Quite a lot's been going on,
Yeah,
really.
quite a lot's been going on. We went to London.
Yeah, we went to London.
We went to M&S's Spring Summer launch,
Yes.
which was actually really nice.
Yeah, really nice.
I don't know what I was expecting. Not that I wasn't expecting it to be nice, but the event was just a very nice event. It was on Oxford Street. They've got like a showroom next to
Yeah,
their store on Oxford Street, and
not that that's relevant at all to anyone listening, but probably a lot of people listening.
Oh yeah, but it was.
I don't think you can just go, can you?
It's probably a press thing, but it was. They'd put like the women's wear, men's wear, home. There was food.
Yeah.
It was really nice, and it was nice because
great.
you could just like drop in. It wasn't
Yeah, like
intense.
a formal
Yeah.
thing, which was, really nice. And
Some of their stuff is so good,
yeah, the menswear. I know we're here to talk about home, but the menswear
and the women's wear.
and women's wear, we obviously just mainly looked at the menswear, but it was so good.
Yeah.
And a lot of the women's like handbag dupes and stuff were so good. I actually think I'm gonna buy. There were some trainers that I loved and some sunglasses that I'm
Yeah,
definitely
they
gonna
had
buy.
some really nice sunglasses, and some of the homeware was really good. I do feel like those kind of brands like John Lewis, M&S, even Next,
Yeah,
is Made.com still going? I think they've
It's
like come
from
back.
Next, yeah.
Is it Debenhams now actually?
No, Made. I think
No,
it's
it's
next.
But they
No, it's next. I know her.
I do just feel like they have all stepped their game up a bit.
Yeah, they've stepped their
Yeah.
blanks up.
Yeah, they have, and it is good because I think a lot of the time you think of high street homeware like from like department stores as a bit like meh, it's a bit bland, but it was not bland. It was good.
No, not at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think M&S in particular, I think there's been kind of whispers or murmurs throughout the industry for a while about, I guess, brands like high street retailers copying more designer brands. But I do think, given the cost of living crisis, how much people care about their homes today, they need to do it. Like, these brands need to be copying from somewhere. Not that they're just copying, they have their own
but
designs.
also they are, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this isn't a negative thing to those brands, but I don't think those brands are leading the way for design.
No,
Or,
I
like,
don't think so.
It's not like they're going to be having like, oh my God, we've come up with this amazing thing that has shaped the way sofas are made or whatever.
Yeah.
They are there to cater to...
Yeah.
They like take the trends and then make their version of it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like... Kind of like how Topshop, I know that's showing my age, but Topshop is
still quite big on ASOS.
Well, yeah, but it's not like it was when we were young. But
yeah, when we were young, way back when we were kids.
Kind of like how like Topshop is to like Prada. Like they're going to take what Prada have done and make the Topshop version. That's kind of like what John Lewis M&S kind of shops would do, I think.
Yeah, a lot of brands.
But they're doing it well.
They're doing it very well. They've got quite a few like designer dupes.
Yeah.
Dupes.
Dupe.
At the
Such
moment.
a hard word to say.
Yeah, dupe.
I always want to say dupe, but then it sounds like I'm saying like the perfume dupe.
Yeah.
Which
Dupe.
I don't love that perfume, to be honest. Oh, well, I actually do love the smell, but I don't think anyone really likes that.
But yeah, we had a good day in London. We had a couple of meetings. Also actually, speaking of M&S, I did not realise all of the brands that they stock.
Oh my God, so much. This is mainly now like for beauty.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had like their beauty section. There were so many different brands in there that we were like, what didn't even... Like Neom. I didn't know they sold Neom.
I didn't know they sold Neom.
Yeah.
So will that be in like most M&S
Yeah, I
stores?
think so. I knew they sold Ren.
Yeah, I knew.
I don't know why I knew that.
I think that's because the one nearest to us when we go and get food is on the way in on the left.
Like you can
when
always
you
see
get
it.
the food.
But they do a lot of brands.
Yeah, a lot of good brands.
Yeah.
So I suppose they are becoming like more of on the same level now as like John Lewis or...
Yeah, because I always thought of it just that you could only get M&S.
Yeah, I suppose the other way round to John Lewis, where they started off with mainly just stocking other brands.
Yeah.
And then they've really like made incredible, actually, like their own ranges.
Yeah,
Like,
John Lewis's
Any Day
big, yeah.
range, and their
Like
Kin.
Phil, wasn't it? Oh no, just Kin. What's Kin Phil?
I think that's a different brand.
Yeah.
And M&S is almost the other way around.
They've always been their own brand.
It's been their own, and now they're stocking more. So it's quite exciting, and it was nice to meet some of the team and see more of it. But yeah, what we're actually going to talk about today is we're going to try and just focus on gardens.
Yeah, which is strange for us.
Yeah, strange for us. Not something we've done before. I don't think we've ever really even discussed gardening on YouTube, Instagram, anywhere.
Yeah, and full disclaimer now, neither of us are garden experts.
No, we're not at all. But we thought all the more reason to kind of talk about it with you all, because we don't really have a clue what we're doing.
No.
We love your insight and... Yeah, any help anyone can offer us, let us know, message us, email us. But the reason we're talking about it today is last week we actually went to, it was such a good day, wasn't it?
Nice day,
It was a panel talk?
A panel talk, yeah.
Why don't you take it?
I feel like I've actually just spoken a lot.
Oh, okay. I'll talk about it more. Someone messaged recently to say that I talk all the time and Mikey just yeses along. So I'm conscious of me talking too much.
I do yes along, but we were talking about that in the car, and we actually yes along to each other.
Yes.
But
it was a panel talk, and it was was it called Longacres? No. Lavershot.
Lavershot, yes.
I think Longacres is nearby.
Yeah.
It was at Lavershot, which is a garden centre in Windlesham in Surrey.
Yes.
And it's really nearby to one of our friends, actually. So it was nice that we got to pop in and see her.
Yeah.
But the panel talk had 3 different people on it. I can't remember all of their names. It was Andrew, Stephen. Was it Andrew and Stephen? I think so.
I can't remember.
And someone else. But basically, one of the people on the panel was from David Harbour, who, if you don't know, is an amazing sculptor, very famous British sculptor who does lots of pieces for gardens, like water features, and he does the amazing mirrored sculptures, which you may or may not know. And one of the other people was a furniture designer.
Yes.
Again, what was the company?
It was garden furniture.
I'm so bad with names. I have them all written down.
I can't remember that either.
Can't remember the name. Bad. A garden furniture maker. And then the other one was from Lush.
Yes. No. Lush was the garden furniture.
No.
Oh.
Wrong.
I thought he was just a gardener. Like his garden designer.
Yeah, he was a garden designer under his own brand, but he also, I think, owns Lush, which is like that part of the garden
skincare
centre.
Company.
Not Lush, the skincare. Yes. So yeah, we were invited along, and to be honest, we normally steer clear of things to do with gardening because we're not experts at all.
No.
I obviously, with interiors, have like training in interiors and do it every day, so I feel like I'm more suited to those kind of conversations. But
that's where your passion is, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was so good to go and I guess understand more of how gardens and our garden at home can be more of an extension of the house, and it's something we've always wanted to do. But until this event, I don't know if we felt.
Yeah, that definitely like sparked a bit of inspiration. I think with gardening, and I don't know if anyone else can ID with this because I think this is quite
microphone over.
A common feeling, but like when the sun starts shining at the beginning of the year, you're like, this is it. This is the year that I'm gonna grow my green finger, and I'm gonna like plant all these amazing plants, and I know what my soil type is, and I'm gonna do you know what I mean? And then you do it and you're like, it looks so good, I'm such a good gardener, and then a week later you're like, weed sprouted, I'm never doing anything ever
never
again.
Stepping out there again. I do think it's that. I think you're almost like, you're taught when you're young, okay, this is how you tidy your bedroom. Yeah. This is how you change your bedding. Most people, I think, have like a basic understanding of you need to keep your home clean, tidy, and well presented to be able to live a nice life.
Yeah.
Whereas your garden, I think, because it's something that you're either interested in or you're not, you're never really taught about it. You're not taught how important it can be in making you like in your wellness, all of those things.
Yeah, and because you're not in it 24/7,
so
if it does get a bit messy, you're kind of like, I'll just shut the door on it and never look at it.
And it's nature.
Yeah.
It's going to grow and change and evolve.
You can't just tidy it and then be like, oh, stay tidy unless I use it.
Yeah.
So you could not go out there for 2 weeks and then you're like, I have to tidy it and I haven't even used it.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas your house, you could pretty much go on holiday for a month, come back and it would stay.
Fine. You might need to do some dusting, but it will stay clean.
Yeah, in our house's case, you'd need to do a lot of dusting.
Yeah, so dusty, this house. But I think it definitely did spark a bit of inspiration. I mean, it's probably just going to be the same thing again, but we're not going to let it.
No, we're not.
Sun hasn't even started shining yet, so that's different.
It's pretty miserable in the UK right now. But anyway, so sorry, I feel like we're going off on a tangent. No.
Get your tandem bike out. Tangent.
But basically, there was this panel talk and they were asked loads of different questions just to fill you guys in. Loads of questions about loads of different things.
Yeah.
But a lot of what they were talking about was how to design your garden for you. Mm-hmm. Different things they've faced when designing gardens for people or sculptures in gardens. Loads and loads of different things. And then we had a wander around the sculptures and the gardens, and basically it sparked a conversation in us about doing our garden this year and really, I think, investing in making it a space that we love. Yeah. Similarly to what we've done in our cottage. Mm-hmm. And I guess it just started that conversation and sparked our interest in making the most of our garden and thinking about how we can use it and I guess trends in gardening and different things. Yeah,
because we have done, when we renovated our house, we renovated the garden to an extent. Yeah. So it is a nice garden. It's not like it's not nice. No. And needs loads of work. Luckily, most of the groundwork is done already, but it just is not what we would want for our ideal garden, I don't think. So it kind of made us think like we probably should put a bit more effort and love into that. Mm-hmm.
Also, there is some like necessary maintenance.
There's some things
like
that absolutely
we
have
need
to
to
be
redo
done.
The fencing, we need to redo the steps, which are old wood and need some work. So, I think it's exciting. We're going to get started on that very soon. In terms of how we want the vibe to be, I think the fun thing, this podcast episode is probably really weird because it's not necessarily like our thoughts, or I just realised the washing machine's on in the background.
I don't think you'll hear that, but if you can.
It's quite loud, sorry. It's not going to be like a normal episode where we're almost sharing like our thoughts and advice much. It's more just telling you our plans and what we're thinking about it, and I'm sure 90% of the people listening
will be better at gardening than we
better gardeners than us. But I think our plan for how we want the garden to look and feel is very much guided, and those decisions we made in the same way that we make interiors decisions.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think we've decided that we want somewhere that really feels, and I guess most people want this, like an extension of our home. Yeah. So we want it to be very kind of neutral, earthy, quite sculptural. Yeah. In shape, and very simple.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're looking at all of that right now and planning. We're thinking, I don't even know the vibe, but I guess kind of like like French courtyard type style,
like mixed with cottage garden, but not all the different flowers. Not that kind of cottage garden,
just like maybe like the lavenders.
I think that is actually one thing that the panel talk, not that they were actually talking about this, but they were obviously talking about garden design because it can be very expensive, and I think a lot of people don't want to pay the money for garden design because it is a luxury thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people, I think, with garden design think like, oh, I can just do it myself, which I agree with. Yeah. But what they were saying did make me think like, why do I not want to pay for a garden designer? We don't need a garden designer. I know I'm literally doing what they said everyone does, but we actually don't, because we're happy with the like main layout of our garden.
We're fully happy with the layout, and it's a small garden. We're quite restricted. It's not like an acre of land.
Amazing like sculpture put in the middle of it or anything like that. Like we are happy with the layout, which is lucky. But it did make me think I would like to get a plant specialist over.
Same.
Because we have no idea like what the soil is in our garden, and that can make a massive difference to like growth or like where the sun's going to come and what plants will do well. And I think that would actually be really useful.
Yeah, I think
neither of us know anything about plants.
We just go to a garden centre, spend a couple of £100 a year, buy them, they die.
Yeah. And some of them stick and some of them don't, and then they grow like weirdly because you have to keep replacing some of them. And so I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think so. That would be quite a nice like birthday present or something, wouldn't it? I do. It's funny you said it, and I was thinking straight away on the subject of price and cost for the garden. I have been seeing loads and loads of things on TikTok recently where people are posting like, I got quoted 75k like with their garden.
Yeah.
But I managed to do it for 20k
a lot,
or whatever. Like, here's how. And I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, 20k? And
that's still a lot.
They're nice. The gardens are nice, but I'm like, they're basically like some landscape, like some grass,
Gardening
some decking,
is so expensive.
a pergola, and a few trees. And I'm like, it does not, don't get me wrong, they look very nice when they're done. But
like, wow, that's a lot of
I'm
money.
like, wow, and that would have cost 70 and you've got it for 20. I'm like, I wanted to spend about 5.
Yeah, we've talked about replacing our patio.
Yeah.
To change it to like some nice tiles or like different
like
stone
a checkerboard
or
maybe.
whatever. And I think in our head we're like, oh, it didn't cost that much.
£2,000.
Like, it's already laid. It's like laying a floor, but obviously not. It needs to be all like dug up. So I'm like, I bet that'll be so much more than we're thinking.
Yeah, and even removing the existing stones will probably be like £1,000. And again, I know it's because it's the value you place on it. So I'm sure and everyone always says this, the older you get, the more you enjoy gardening. So I'm sure we will place more and more value on it every year. So it would be worth doing it properly.
Well, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But I was going to say it's just very strange because I can't remember what I was going to say. But
I don't want to spend loads of money on it.
Yeah, I guess you're stuck in a position of being like, I do want to do it and I really want to enjoy the space and invest in the space so that we treat it better.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say was that we've always in this house, when we've spent more money on things, valued it more. Yeah. It's like the dressing room. It wasn't cheap. And we did make that decision when we were doing it. We were looking at ways we could save money doing it. And we were like, no, because if we do it cheaper, we won't value it as much. And I think that's definitely paid off. So
I think it
is one of those things that you probably have to bite the bullet a bit.
With the dressing room, with the garden, with anything, as soon as you make that investment, you're not just investing in the room or the materials, you're really investing in wanting it. So almost you're telling your brain like, okay, well, I like clearly
really committing to that choice.
Like I clearly want it enough and so much that I am willing to put £10,000 into this space.
And then you'll be, if you love it, obviously, hopefully, touch wood, you will be very, very pleased with how it like turns out. But I think if you spend the money, you're more likely to be like, yes, we're going to use it. Like, we're going to go out there, we're going to keep it tidy because we've spent that much money on it, and and obviously that's relative to everyone. But
my phone keeps going off.
It's I think it's just one of those things where gardening, I think people think it's going to be cheaper than it is. And obviously you can do everything on a budget. Yeah. So I'm not saying you have to spend loads of money, but obviously everyone's budget is going to be relative to them. Yeah. So
I think the same rules as well apply as they do with interiors, and I'd be interested, Mikey, to know your like stance on this as well. But for me, with gardening, similar to homes, I see people like online that I follow, or I've done it myself, or you even see them just out shopping or friends, whatever. Yeah. And they spend so much money on buying like a vase, candle holders, cushions, these kind of small details, and they don't have the fundamentals right. They haven't chosen the right paint color for the room. They haven't invested in good furniture. They haven't, like, those kinds of things. And I think it's the same with the garden. Like, you can put all of your money into going to like B&Q or a garden centre and buying plants that you don't really know how they'll mature or how they'll work in the space. They'll just kind of sit on a table or on the side, and you haven't actually got the fundamentals right. Like for us, we haven't got the right patio, the right fencing, the right grass area. Like we haven't got those things down. And I feel like as soon as we do, so this year we could focus on that. And then next year, like with an interior space, you design the kind of architecture of the room, then the layout of furniture, and then the accessories. And you can have a vision of how you want it to look initially so that you can do the right groundwork. But there does have to be a running order of things. Yeah. Like you wouldn't in a house paint the walls before you plaster the walls.
No, yeah.
Kind of is like that.
That is so right.
Yeah.
I think it is really easy, and that's the same with houses, to be like, I can just have it all done now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you want it all done now, but I think it is kind of one of those things where you're like, you probably mainly are focused on it in the spring, summer.
Yeah.
So, and for us, that will definitely be the case, I'm sure. So it is kind of like, okay, this spring, summer, let's do this. And then just leave it, like not leave it, but like make it nice.
Yeah.
But not be like, let's plant loads of plants and let's do this and get the furniture and get everything done now. Just do like the main work, or not even all of the main work, just like
start.
the patio. If we really want to do the patio and it's expensive, we could be like, let's just do the patio this year.
Yeah, make
that
really
nice. Or like whatever the order would be.
Yeah. Also, I guess in the same way of slow design inside, if you did that this year, the patio, I don't know why I can't. When I say patio, I just want to say it in an Irish accent.
I know.
I think we had a gardener once who came over and he was like, "Oh, are you going to do your patio?"
Yeah, and it's stuck.
And now it's really stuck. But if we did do the patio this year, and then by next year, I'm sure we actually would have changed our mind on some of the other things that we were going to do. So when you sit with something and slowly do it, like in our house, good example, we did some bookcases built in either side of the fireplace, and they were open shelving. And by the following year, we decided that actually we would benefit from having doors on the top so if we would have left those a year, we would have done that straight away, kind of thing. And obviously it's easy to...
It evolves. Obviously we lived with that and then we were like, actually, this would have been better with doors.
Yeah. So you like learn things as you go. But that's, all the more reason, I guess, to do things slowly, in parts. And a garden, and this was a lot of the tone of this panel talk, a garden obviously is the only space in your home, really, I think, that would mature and get better over time.
Yeah.
Because nowhere else really, like if you paint a room, it will look best on the first day it's been painted. If you install, there are very few things other than like nature where it should grow to be more beautiful and mature over time, except your garden. Like a mature garden is a really beautiful garden. So it doesn't need to be something that's rushed, and luckily it's something that you can take your time with. Yeah,
I think that is the thing. You can't see it as like, it'll be done. It'll just like never be done. And with that is exactly the same with our house in particular, I'm sure. But with everyone with your house, it's never done. Yeah. It's just constantly evolving, or you might change some things or whatever. And I think that's kind of with the garden. I think you kind of do just have to make the commitment to it that you will keep working on it forever and ever and ever. But I think that's all the more reason to make it a place that you really want to be in. Want to spend your time. To make it better. Yeah. Because de-weeding is not fun. No. But equally, it's satisfying. It's quite mindless and therapeutic in a nice way. Yeah. Yeah, true. I guess a good place to start for us and for anyone listening, I'm guessing it's when this episode goes out, it will be the kind of time of year that you're thinking more about your garden, and we're just relaying the tips that we were given at this panel talk, and also that I guess we would use when planning an interior space or if I were talking with a client. But I think the best place that you can start, like with the interior, is how are you going to use the garden. And I don't know, why didn't we do a consultation for our garden planning? For our garden? Yeah, so, okay, how are we going to use the space? I think we've lived here now for 5 years. Yeah, honestly, just 5 years. Yeah, literally just 5 years, almost to the day. Yeah. And if you think of how we've used the garden, it's like a tip. We've used it as a tip. We've used it as a dog poo station. We've used it as it still is the dog's toilet. We've had a few barbecues, maybe. Not many. But I do like eating in the garden. So do I. I don't love cooking in the garden. Yeah, you've never loved that. No. You don't love cooking in general though, my dear. No, I know. But I just think I find it's just a bit inconvenient because you're like away from the sink and the dishwasher and the birds and the bees and all of that. Birds and the bees come flocking. But we do eat outside in the garden in summer quite often. Yeah, we do. So that's something we would want. Yeah. I know that's something everyone would want, but we do like a nice... How about hosting and things? Do you think, would we rather host indoors or outdoors? I think
Bit of both.
A bit of both, but also we are not massive hosters, so it's going to be very similar to indoors, where we probably will normally be us and 2 other people, or us and 4 other people max.
And probably only like 5-6 times a year.
Which I think has also been a bit of our problem in the past, is that we've been like, we need to get a big dining table to sit 6 people. We need to make sure we've got lounge area for 6 people. But it's so rare that we do it, and I think we need to take our advice from inside out.
Yeah.
And be like, let's just do whatever we want in the garden that we're going to use, because it's so rare that we'll be actually hosting people out there.
Yeah, agreed.
But I mean, I do like sitting in the sun.
Yeah. But also, so our garden gets so hot.
Really hot. There's no wind.
No wind.
It's such a sun trap.
Yeah, it's like a proper, and I know everyone says that, and everyone is like, oh, it's the most desirable thing, but it's very hot. Very hot. So I think I definitely want to plan some shady areas, whether it's from like some bigger trees in pots that just let some like nice shade come over, or getting a pergola or a parasol, something that can give us some shade. And then otherwise, I guess the main big thing for us, which this is going to be controversial, but I think we don't want to have any grass, do we?
No, we have spoken about that, and I think that's something that we are not loving.
We've agreed no grass.
Yeah, we actually only have artificial grass now. Mm-hmm. But I just think if we, like when we're looking on Pinterest or looking at gardens that we love, they're the things that we normally gravitate towards are the non-grassy gardens,
and the more like potted plants and
with
trees,
like gravel, and I just think that's probably more us.
Yeah, I agree.
Feels more us.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna very much go for like layered stones, like slab work.
Yeah.
I don't know how much wood we'll have really.
No, we've got quite a bit. We've got the wooden.
We've got a lot of wood now.
Plant sleepers. On the side, so we'll probably keep that kind of thing, but maybe grow them up a bit.
And maybe do another one on the other side, and then some stones. Yeah. I don't know, but we're going to be doing all of that soon, and I'm very excited for it. I'm too. Really excited to like make pizzas in the garden again.
Yeah, we actually got an uni last year, which if you haven't had one or tried one, I was quite skeptical. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a pizza.
Because he's skeptical about everything.
I am.
I honestly think everything we're gonna do, any project we work on, anything I want to buy, Mikey's like.
I just think I thought like, oh, what's the point in that? Like, you can just have a pizza from inside.
You sounded really well, Stan. What's the point in that?
But they are so good.
So good.
They are. They take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, we had probably 3 or 4 black pizzas that were charred.
Sober.
Like completely charred.
And then like a few undercooked ones, because you think like, oh, I can do it for 10 seconds.
Yeah, and it's literally dough. And we also are so funny. We're 100% the type of people that whether it's charred or doughy, we're like, wow.
Yeah, you'll just eat it and be like, this is so good.
This is perfect. I can't wait to have it again.
Yeah, this is better than going out for pizza. It's a real pizza restaurant.
But you know that like both of us behind our eyes are thinking like, this is the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. But we will get good. Like with gardening, we're going to put our minds together.
Yeah,
we're going to
I did love having the uni, to be fair. So that's also something we should find a permanent place for the uni.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We've got a few places that can go now, which is nice. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to doing it. And I don't know, it's quite nice to feel like, oh, I want to get outside and do something. That was the thing
about the panel talk. It was just very like invigorating.
Inspiring.
Because before, I think I was just like, oh, garden schmarden.
Yeah, garden schmarden.
Whereas now I just feel like, oh, I want a nice garden.
Yeah, and also, let's be honest, aren't garden centres really fun?
They are. I do love it. We've always loved a garden centre.
Always loved a garden centre.
Go to a garden centre all day, every day.
Yeah. Do you know, they are great.
They are great.
You can go for lunch, brunch, breakfast, dinner.
Buy gifts.
Cakes.
Yourself. Yeah, cake. Do you know
I'm just listing
really
food.
Good garden centre?
Should we? I was going to say, should we say our favourite on 3, but you started already.
Oh, okay.
No, I've heard yours.
Oh, it's Daylesford.
I was going to say the same.
Oh, well, it's so good.
It. I think each garden, there's like so many different purposes for different garden centres. Daylesford, which is in the Cotswolds, has everything. Like they've got good homeware, loads of brands. They've got so many plants.
Yeah, it's so good. I think the thing with Daylesford is that, which I really like, and this, some people might take this as a negative. I like it, but it's less curated. Yeah. Somewhere like Daylesford, which I love, is so curated. So like, if you want that vibe.
You've run with my point
that
I was saying.
Oh, have I?
I was saying Burford is like everything.
Yeah.
Daylesford is like if you want to get the inspiration,
Very
and
streamlined.
that's the vibe you like.
Yeah.
And then your run of the mill at basically every other garden centre in the UK is more like where you're going to go with your grandma for lunch, and it's wholesome, it's cute.
It's like a good place to get plants.
Yeah, like an actual garden centre.
Yeah,
but you're not going to find people there like dressed up to the nines
those
in
are
their Holland.
Those are the real garden centres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to find people dressed. I'll just start that again. Sorry, I couldn't say it again.
Sorry.
You're not going to find people dressed up to the nines in their like Holland Cooper, what is it? Beaufort and Blake? Beaufort? I don't know.
Feathered hats.
Yeah, these feathered hats and hunting wellies.
Yeah.
Hunting wellies? Oh yeah, hunting wellies.
Hunting
boots.
Not hunter wellies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting boots, whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, places like Daylesford are so good. If you want that style, you will get that style.
Maybe we should talk about that. I feel like it's a controversial subject, but Daylesford, I think people love it or they hate it.
Yeah, it has. Daylesford has become almost like it's starting to get like a Soho house kind of like vibe.
Yeah.
Not in terms of the style, but like it's becoming like a members club, which it's not.
Why does it feel like
but
that?
Like you go and it's like, and I know I don't care that people do this. It's absolutely fine and it's fun. So whatever.
Yeah, but we're a part of this problem.
But you go on say like a Saturday and there is like a typecast of person who is at Daylesford, and there's no shame in that. But it's sometimes a bit frustrating if you go with the intention of like you just want to use it as a farm shop.
Yeah, you just want to have a
garden
mood
centre or whatever. You just want to like go and get something, and it's kind of like everyone's gone on a day out, which I get why they would. There's restaurants, there's things to do. It is amazing, so it is a day out. But obviously, some people don't use it as a day out, so then there's just this kind of weird mix of people there.
I think it's exactly that. It's the locals versus the tourists.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going...
It's become a tourist centre.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And
we are tourists.
Yeah,
there.
we're not denying that we have obviously been there a lot for years.
Yeah.
But also we're a part of that problem because we travel from an hour or two away
to go
and pick up some groceries, be inspired by the interiors, which is absolutely fine. You would go to London to Regent Street shopping or Covent Garden. It's the same thing. And if you're into like that country aesthetic, you're going to go there for inspiration. But it equally, like you said, it kind of has become a bit of a place where it feels like people dress up a certain way, almost as if they're going to like Cheltenham races. Do you get that vibe?
There's like a dress code to Daylesford, which there isn't. You can go in whatever you want, but it just feels like there is a bit of a dress code that everyone seems to like adhere to, which is just interesting more than anything. I think it's like become a bit of like a cult thing to do, like, oh, let's go to Daylesford and do this, and but I mean, fair enough, it is really nice. I mean, they've done why people do it
very well for themselves.
Yeah, they have. It's become like a massive thing.
Yeah,
but I think it's almost like if you look at Soho House and what seems to be happening to Soho House, a lot of people now, I mean, we've never been Soho House members, so I can't comment, but a lot of people are saying like, oh, they're really run down now. They're just overcrowded with like people who just want to be there to be like, we're Soho House members. And I don't get worried because it's not that deep, but I am like, is that going to happen to Daylesford? Because it feels like it's become almost like so big that they can't keep up with the bigness of it. Yeah,
I do know what you mean. I think the positive thing that Daylesford has going for it, and we've said this like off the record as well, I think almost the fact that they haven't opened like 10, 20, they've got their main farm, which is still where all of the produce is from. Like they make a lot of products there, and then they've got a couple in London, I think. Yeah, like not like farm, not just like little shops with like restaurants. With a restaurant, and I feel like they've kept that kind of quite like exclusive and local feeling by doing that, rather than just like we're going to expand, push into every city. I think they've got that, which is quite nice. So I think when people get over it and the trend moves on, which it always happens, like right now there is a trend for this like wholesome country lifestyle, but that will go to being, and I think it is already, to being like a cosmopolitan Sex and the City vibe soon, or trends are changing so often, so probably a large percentage of that following will move on,
yeah, exactly.
And I hopefully it won't leave kind of the reputation and brand that is Daylesford tarnished, because I do think from where I'm stood, they've seemed to have like held their values quite well.
So,
and like I've done a cookery course there, I've done some lunches there.
It's great. I mean, I'm literally now recommending people to go.
Yeah.
So it's just going to get busier, but it is I can see why it has the hype it has, because it is good.
Literally just had like a 10-minute conversation about if Daylesford is becoming the new Soho home. But
is it?
That's the question.
They do have a members club now.
They do.
So
God, it literally is. We've unpacked it. There we go.
There we go.
Maybe that's their future.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're ahead, Daylesford. I actually really love the team and stuff as well. They're very nice.
I do like Daylesford.
Anyway, I guess that's kind of our garden plans. We'll probably go to Daylesford for some inspiration.
Yeah, I know. I was actually
soon.
just thinking maybe we should schedule a trip to Daylesford.
Yeah, before we start any of the work. Let's do that in the next couple of weeks.
That'd be fun.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's all we're going to talk about.
I think we're trying to keep it just to one topic, so I think we need to rein it in.
We go so off. Clearly, we could have done an episode or two just about Daylesford.
Yeah,
maybe next
we
week.
will.
But thank you for listening to this week's episode of You, Me and Design.
Yeah, thank you.
If you're new here, or if you're listening on YouTube, or you'd rather, then please do check out our YouTube channel. Just search You, Me and Design and subscribe there.
Yeah.
And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else,
rate, like. I never know what these things are. You always do that, but I'm like, what are the things?
Is
it like go like say it? And I'm like,
because I feel like I'm constantly doing the
the
stuff. It's our joint thing. I think you should join in.
No, I know, but I'm like, is it rate or follow or like? Or
I think it's
subscribe?
rate, review, and follow. Don't know. Rate, review, follow.
You know, like on YouTube, it's like comment, subscribe, and that's just everyone seems to know that that's that. But I'm like, on podcasts, what is it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Either
anyway,
way,
do the things.
Please do the things.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Next week.
Bye.